What is something you hear a lot as a Fortnite player?
Fortnite is a game made for kids. Why you playing a game made for kids? This game was made purely for kids.
How dare you! Yeah, the art direction of the game is cartoony and is kind of made to be kids friendly. Yes, Fortnite has removed the names like Death Trooper, turning them into like, I don't know, R-Trooper to protect them kids. Also yes, Fortnite has killing in it, but Epic Games was like, actually, it's elimination, not killing. Cause you don't die, you turn into blue cubes. Even though that still is killing. Like, turning into blue cubes or not, you still die. Yeah, you return, but you die first. It's And yes, recently Fortnite has been way too focused on bringing in younger players because of LEGO and the super annoying age rating thing. But what if I told you? Just like the title and the thumbnail of this video says, Fortnite tricked an entire generation of people for 7 whole years. This game might look like it's made for kids, and that might be what a lot of people are telling you right now. But trust me, that's a lie. Under a huge pile of garbage, and under the greatest looking battle royale, there is something about Fortnite that is not made for kids. Rather an amazing game to enjoy for more mature audience. That very thing is the game's storyline. Storyline. Shut up! Fortnite's storyline is the most underrated part of this game in a huge side of the game's community. Because for the people who think this game is solely made for kids, because of that they don't really give its storyline the chance it deserves. While on the other side, the kids are way too busy wearing protection, sweaty skins, and building New York in seconds. Go touch grass. It's really good for you, trust me. But then for the people who gave this game's storyline a chance, ones who actually followed it and saw how much of a banger it is, they have many times said how the storyline is exactly why they still keep playing the game. The storyline is what keeps them here, especially when they get older like me. This gameplay will only last you like many years of your life, maybe 5, maybe 10, but one day you're definitely gonna get tired of it. But a well-written, mature, amazing, and awesome storyline that's gonna stick with you like forever for the rest of your life. It will keep making you want more of it, and it makes you feel attached to the characters it has, making you actually care for them and their emotions. What if I say Fortnite very much has that? And that is exactly why this game is not just made to be played by younger age people, but also the storyline was designed from the start to make the more mature people in the community also enjoy the game as well, by bringing more maturity to the game and making you feel attached to these amazing characters. It's basically the same thing that happened with Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, Ratatouille, Megamind, not the newer ones though.
Hello fans, I am here talking into the camera as if I were talking to you in person, thanks to the magic of the internet.
Or Rango, Soul, Wall-E, Monsters Inc., Puss in Boots, and Spider-Verse, The Incredibles, or just so many different examples of medias that Fortnite storyline has very much trying to be like. These animations that I just talked about, all of them have something in common. Yeah, they are looked at by a lot of people as made for kids just because they're animation, but the storyline and the writing of these masterpieces were made more focused on the mature people who will also watch the animations. There is a reason why you enjoy these movies way more when you watch them after your 20s, because from then you have way more experience in life. You understand these characters in their stories more, and because of it get attached to them. And you also feel the struggles they go through. You can connect with them. Well, what makes Fortnite also be made for a more mature audience is exactly because of how they're trying to be the same thing as all of those animations. Fortnite wants to be for every age out there, not just kids. And thanks to Donald Mustard, the greatest legend in the history of gaming, it worked! The gameplay has a lot of times been more focused on the younger audience, especially some of the things they do, which I'm not gonna lie, sometimes cringes me out. But then on the other side, Donald Mustard made sure to create a place within this game more focused on the mature audience, therefore creating the grand, amazing storyline this game has. But why exactly do I believe that the storyline of this game was created to be enjoyed by more of like an older players within the game, rather than the younger ones?
Could you not be yourself? for 5 minutes!
Why out of every game out there, I chose exactly this one to be my favorite storyline, following it every single day. And my community is built from people who are mostly around their 20s, showing how yep, the people who enjoy this game's storyline are mostly adults now. Well, there are many different factors which play a part in this game's storyline being so amazing for us. Starting with a huge thing that makes this storyline be unlike anything out there. Dunham Master didn't just want to tell a story. He wanted to tell the story in a lovely way that has been never done before. He wasn't like EA or Halo or Call of Duty DC seeing the shiny live service game and being like, me want to exploit this as much as possible for money. Me make garbage live service game cause it makes money. But Fortnite had a really good reason to be a live service. That's connecting directly into what I said about Mustard. Him wanting to innovate and come up with a whole new way to tell a story with. He saw the concept of a live service, and he also saw a great opportunity to do exactly what he wanted. Dunham Mustard saw this idea and focused on the live part of it. Because in the crazy mind of his, he thought, what if I use this idea to tell a live story? A story that is always growing and evolving, making a world that feels alive, with a story that progresses every single day, and a storyline that keeps changing and evolving the world of this game, so it grows up with us together with the player and aging in real life. This right here, this idea of his, oh my god! This is exactly why Fortnite is my most favorite game ever. Where can you go that the world of the game evolves years upon years, never stopping? And so where exactly can you say that, wow, I feel like this game and its storyline is growing up with me. It's aging and changing or maturing just like how I am. Most or every single story out there. They release a huge part of them in one day, then you gotta wait for years or something for the rest of the story to come out. But not in Fortnite. It's the only story out there where you can return every single week. And there is so much story progression for you to enjoy. This game has just been a dream come true for someone like me who really enjoys the stories and movies. No one can ever be what Fortnite is right now. That is exactly what makes it so special. And the fact that Fortnite Battle Royale was made mainly because Dunham Mustard saw the live service as a great opportunity to tell a banger story with. That makes me love this game even more. Everybody else saw the live service as an easy money-making glitch. And ironic how even then, Mustard's idea made even more money than any of those garbage out there. That right there shows how much more important art is compared to corporate greed. But was this new way of storytelling even good? Well, no. It was not good. It was the best thing I've ever gotten to experience. God, I don't know how boring my life would have.
I am coming.
Please let me interview you. I would love to ask you about the Fortnite storyline, Midas, and things like that. Please, let me. Please. There is an amazing structure to how Fortnite tried to make a live service storyline possible, or how he managed to make a game's world feel alive and real. The structure of Fortnite storyline telling are 6 things. Story cinematics, weekly map changes focused on telling a story, storyline missions, Dunham Mustard's Twitter, and I'm not kidding, that might sound cringe or something, but that was actually so cool, I miss it. Then finally, the best, the single reason that carries the new storytelling idea of Dunham Mustard, and as he himself calls it, the magic of Fortnite. The live events! But whoa, before we talk about that peak, let's start from the top. The storyline cinematics are always the start of the important moments in the storyline. These normally happen at the start of the seasons and the middle of them. Fortnite takes this very seriously and always tries to go movie level hard on them, adding a great storyline to explain the start of every season and connecting them directly to the seasons before, while adding lots of mystery and things to make us be excited to find out, oh, what's inside the meteor? What is this meeting all about? Why did the island suddenly do a backflip? And why did Jones dropping into the hole make him go upwards into the map, not like downwards? What's up with the realistic looking world shown there? Who's John Jones exactly talking to? And just so many other examples of Fortnite teasing the future feature massive reveals in the past storyline cinematics. It's just always a blast to find out that something that comes a year or two in the future, they have been teasing it long before we had any idea about it. Not to mention the art direction of these cinematics and the voice acting of them. They're just so beautiful. I love them. Every time people see them, we're like, damn, I wish that Fortnite made a movie with this art direction. If Fortnite ever makes an animation movie with this style that they use in their like cinematics and stuff, I would watch that movie 1,000 trillion quadrillion times. That would be such a masterpiece. These are all thanks to how Donald Mustard originally wanted to make movies, not video games. So he brought that movie making passion into Fortnite instead. Which is exactly why these cinematics have been more fun to watch for me than legit movies. Now on to another innovative way that Donald Mustard tells the game's storyline with. Map changes. Every single week Fortnite gets updates which changes the world of the game and progresses its story, as I said, to make the world of the game feel alive. An amazing way which they used to do this is showing off the effects of the storyline on the island itself, aka using the island itself as what tells the story, not characters or text. This was done through watching a make-me build every single week on the island, a monster being revealed under Polar Peak and escaping, crazy alien tech moving around the island and charging up the vault to open, watching the Imagine Order prepare to create the collider, or every week seeing more of the effects of the war on the island and the destruction of it. Then seeing Iron Man reef beacons being put around the map, turning them on to just drop a huge chunk of land teleported onto the map, and then us watching him use that place to develop some kind of like battle bus jet, crop circles appearing on the map, and even in real life to tease the aliens coming to Fortnite. And just so much more. Fortnite uses this island and map and makes changes to it every week, while the game allows us to find these changes ourselves, then through them understand what's going on in the world of the game. This right here is an example of how Fortnite managed to make this game feel alive. Tell me one game out there that does something just even close to this. Go on, I'm waiting. Say something! Donald Mustard's Twitter. That's an actual way which Donald Mustard told some of the story through. Mostly future teasers, nothing too extremely important. And this might sound funny or something to you because you don't have a massive giga muga super mega, I don't know what.
It's time to stop!
There is a reason why Mustard did this, and why the community misses him so much because of it. A big reason why Donald Mustard used to do this is because of his extreme passion and love for his job. How excited he always was to show us everything he has been putting so much time into. That's what exactly made us love his work too. The magic of Fortnite is not just the live events, it was him too. Finally! Everything which I've talked about so far are just things that happen before the actually super duper cool part of the storyline begins. The moments that make the Fortnite storyline be truly a masterpiece of gaming. The single thing that makes Fortnite be different from any other game out there. And it gives the game so much more of an artistic, lovely feeling. Live events. You know how many people out there only play Fortnite for the sake of watching the live events, and they don't even care about any other part of the game.
Damn you, Gino!
These live events breaking records after records after records even to this date. Live events are what easily evolved Fortnite from just being another game into instead being the next evolution of entertainment. A popular culture masterpiece. From extremely lovely characters to watching these events, seeing them work together, and the wonderful story they tell in these every time, especially in the later ones around chapter 2, until beyond insane, unique and artistic scenes that every single event has at least one of them, to even the super memorable music that made you sometimes get emotional within these events. Well, these events used to blow our minds because they kept getting better and better every single time. And what makes them even more special is how they're live. Something which only happens once and everybody have to experience it all together.
We're letting Paradigm down! Step your game up, Harvey! No!
Bringing tens of millions of people all together at the same time to enjoy the same thing at the same time as well. Again, which other game out there does anything close to this? Which one? There is so many things that Fortnite does which like no other place ever you can find anything like it. You can never argue that Fortnite's storyline is not special because just everything it does has never been done before. The definition of being special. The way the Fortnite storyline has been told easily is some of the best parts of it. Even though sometimes it has issues that can easily be fixed. For example, the storyline lobby tab idea that I have brought up like many times. That's a perfect fix for some of the issues. The way the story is told in this game still is what exactly makes you not be able to find anything like it anywhere else. Oh, and sometimes they do crossovers with comics from DC or Marvel. Those are also so well written, they're such a fun time to go through. They're definitely worth checking out, especially the Batman Zero comics. Before we move on to the next point, there is one more thing that makes the live events even more special. That is regarding the end of the chapter events. Every chapter of Fortnite ends with a banger live event that brings an end to that era of Fortnite. Except the last two. We do not talk about those, they don't exist. But what even are chapters exactly meant to be? Well, these are basically like going from Kung Fu Panda 1 into Kung Fu Panda 2, 3, 4 and so on. They're meant to be the closing and the start of a new part of the game's storyline. Donald Mustard himself has said how the chapters became a thing because he wanted to give Fortnite new sequels without having to release a new game for it, just simply doing a new update to the game. That already sounds really unique and like something that has never happened before, just like every single other thing that this legend has done. But oh no, it doesn't even end there. Donald didn't only want to give this game sequels, but he also wanted the end of Fortnite 1 and the start of Fortnite 2 or 3 to feel extremely emotional and awesome. And as I have already said, Fortnite is meant to feel like a world that actually exists and is alive. So this man, this absolute legend, just I don't know which part of his brain functions like that, but he came up with the coolest way to transition from the past chapter into the new one. He took us into the skies, letting us see the island one last time, as then we all got sucked into a black hole. And that's it, Fortnite died, the servers got shut down, and Epic Games just quit.
What do you mean the game shut down? That sounds insane.
It does. But it actually happened. The game's servers were off for a long time, as all you could see when starting Fortnite was only a black hole. But oh no, do you really think that Donald Mustard is just gonna stop it there? Nah. He deleted or privated all of the posts on the social medias of Fortnite, replacing them all only with the pictures of the black hole. And the people just had absolutely no idea like why the hell is there like a black hole? Why is it not letting me play Fortnite? Let me play Fortnite! I cannot live without my daily dose of Fortnite. Give me. Where have you seen a game that commits to its storyline to this level? Which game out there is willing to completely turn off its servers for 2 whole days or even longer? All of this solely for a storyline live event and to make it feel special. Calling Fortnite a storyline anything that is not a masterpiece. Not only you would be lying to yourself, but you would be also making the biggest mistake of your life, missing out on this perfection, on this peak. I love this storyline so much. But now that I'm done explaining why the Fortnite storytelling is just such a perfection, a good story doesn't only need to be told in a fun way. What is told to us also needs to be good. Now let me tell ya, Fortnite doesn't disappoint even there. The stories that are told about these characters and their conflicts and chaos, all of the things they have to deal with. How amazing these characters in the storyline can be a lot of times are underlooked because of new issues that are coming up in the story, which I'm gonna talk about in the end of this video. So maybe like the video before we reach that. I'm gonna give you ice cream if you do. Maybe, probably not. So let's first start with explaining what the core of this game's story is, and then after that we're gonna go through the characters. The plot of this game's story is not really complicated. Fortnite is about the Omniverse. A multiverse contains many universes within it, but an Omniverse contains every single world, every single multiverse within itself. So this is just the biggest a game's world and a story can be. This means Marvel exists within this game's world, Street Fighter, Metal Gear, DC, SpongeBob, or even real life is part of this game's world. Exactly why sometimes they do storyline related things in the real life, like the giant burger or the aliens making the crop circle in real life. That is just so cool. I love when they do real life things for the storyline. The Omniverse was created thanks to the Big Bang, and Big Bang gave birth to the god of this game's story. 0 Point lives within Reality Zero, a world where it is meant to be completely lonely, with no living things within it to keep the 0 Point safe. But then two god level beings decided to command the 0 Point into creating an island. Then also for the 0 Point to open portals on it too, and grab people from other realities, especially 5 of them to start with. Then put them all on this island. So they start fighting, and through that evolve and become perfect and powerful beings. The island was born as a way to make living beings become much stronger than they are, and evolve them into something much more. Which obviously that ruined the whole point of Reality Zero being a lonely place. And exactly that led into the main plot of the game's storyline happening. People who were taken into the island, after getting a victory royale and getting freed from the loop because of it, they saw how magical and powerful this world is. And because of it, it caused them to separate into 3 different groups. A super greedy group who wanted to use this power and create themselves the most perfect home possible. But to reach that, they need to kill and destroy every other home out there. Exactly why they're named the Last Reality. Then a middle type group who doesn't really want to kill others for their own gain, but also are intrigued with unlimited knowledge and want to alter the world through it. Change every single part of the world which they see as a mistake, to make every single multiverse out there and every world out there become perfect. This group was called the Imagine Order. Then we have a third group, which this one, the people of them are actually former Imagine Order members. That one ironically used to be the king of the Last Reality. So the whole team is built by members of these 2 groups who regret their past choices. They saw the issues and the problems with what those 2 groups want, and the danger their mindset could bring into the Omniverse. They believe that there is a reason to why the world functions how it does. So because of it, they have quit IO and the Last Reality to stop both of them. They are called the 7. These 3 are pretty much the core of Fortnite's storyline. The whole story of this game is people within these 3 different beliefs constantly fighting one another. So one of them in the end comes on top and gains full control over the 0 Point. So they can change the entire world and alter it into what they believe it should be. The war of the Single Order, Imagine Order, and the Natural Order. But Fortnite never really took like a Disney path with this idea and make it boring, being like, Natural Order is for sure the good guys, and the others are definitely sucky, we must take them down. No, thank God Fortnite didn't go that way. Instead, the game really wants the player itself to choose which side they want to be with. There was a time when people thought the Last Reality were actually the good guys, even though later on we learned obviously not. Then there was also a time where people thought the Imagine Order were the good guys and the 7 are actually wrong. But the game, rather than bashing those people and not letting you try to figure out who you want to be on the side of, they showed off the Imagine Order as the only ones who can truly protect the 0 Point and can stop the Last Reality from killing all of us. Then to make things even more interesting, they showed the 7 failing to protect the 0 Point and failing to stop the Last Reality. So making us think, wow, maybe Jenna was right after all. Maybe we do really need the Imagine Order. Donna Mustard really wanted to make a story where sometimes we get to make our own choices and who we want to follow. He didn't really want to limit our vision on the game's world and characters. The core of this game's story is extremely fun to explore, but the original characters of it make it even better, especially thanks to the variety of different villain types this game has. We first of all have the Last Reality villains like the Herald or the Cube Queen, ones which get to show off how terrifying this game's world can be, and just how easy it is for them to destroy all of the the realities out there, just like how they want to. The last reality, even though powerful, they're also kind of like Sister Sage from the Boys show. They really like to trick their enemies into destroying their own selves. They wanted the Seven to win against the Imagine Order. It's basically made their job way easier, and the Seven was much easier for them to deal with than the Imagine Order was. Last reality wanted the Foundation to bring in the Spire, so they use it to teleport in one of their motherships. Last reality likes to plan things in a way to force other people into doing exactly what they want, without those people having any clue of it. They are basically the most powerful army out there, but also the only army which riders first strike using their brain and manipulating others, then using their firepower after. That honestly makes this group so extremely interesting and awesome, especially with how a lot of times they fake their own failure, because again, to trick you into doing exactly what they want from you. Personally, I see them as the best written villains of this game because of it. Then we got the twist villains.
Wait, but those suck, they're so boring.
Yeah, I know that Disney just absolutely have been destroying the idea of twist villains, but there is one in Fortnite that honestly is like top 5 best characters in this game. That is Dr. Stone. If this was a Marvel movie or something, they would have made her feel like the nicest person ever until the reveal right at the end of the movie that ooh, this guy was actually bad all along, making the character kind of feel weird, and we don't get to see any villainy, any evil things or anything from them, because the movie is legit ending. There is no time for them to actually be a villain. But Fortnite chose to hint right from the start how she's not really a good person. She was never really too nice to us or never trying to be a villain either. She simply was doing her job. But then season 7 started. The aliens came. Then she also on the side was making up whole plans and everything, fighting against the aliens too, making us feel like she might actually care about us. But even on the side of that, this game made the whole plot on how we should not trust her. And the aliens might actually not even be that bad. Maybe they're the good ones and she's the bad one. She's the evil one. Cancel her. Get her out of here. But then it got revealed that nope, they're definitely planning to cook us into HFC. So we felt like we have no choice but to trust her now. And we did, going through her plan of destroying the mothership and doing what she says to save ourselves. Right when she sees the danger within the UFO, Dr. Stone reveals however right to question trusting her, how she's in fact a villain, because she's way too focused on gaining knowledge and her work, rather than the life of the others, leaving us to die on this ship. She's not really an evil person who wants to hurt others. She simply is a genius scientist who is beyond addicted to learning all of the secrets and the knowledge of the world. So because of that, she needs her job in the IO to learn all of the things through the 0 point. This hunger for knowledge is what blinded her, made her do whatever horrible things it took to protect her placement within the IO. So she's only willing to be a villain when something is threatening her rank within the IO and her goal of knowledge. Exactly why it somewhat fits her to be a twist villain. Her wanting to keep her place within the IO so she can keep exploring and discovering secrets. This is her greatest weakness as well. It is what Geno, the leader of IO, used to manipulate her and force her into doing every single thing he wants. If Geno wants to kill every single person on the island, well then she has to follow through it or she will lose her rank within the IO and her goals. It's not so much that she's a villain, it's more so that she's forced to be. The hunger for knowledge has been the same thing that doomed her life. Following her storyline has honestly been some of the most fun time in this game's story, especially getting to see her redemption arc of being tired of getting manipulated by Geno, therefore quitting the Imagine Order and trying to explore the world freely without someone abusing her for it. Even though the game has also told us at the same time, we still cannot fully trust her. There is still hunger for knowledge within her, and any day that could take her back into making horrible decisions. Honestly, 10 out of 10 villain. She is just so amazing. I hope they keep doing stories with her. Dr. Stone, win! She's he's so cute! But now, the most important villain in the Fortnite story. One that is also the most interesting and well written. And also the one which shockingly still has not gotten a full arc in the story yet. That is none other than Geno himself. Geno is just everything that is amazing about this game's story and writing. He is a power-hungry person who loves to rule. Exactly why he was an immortal king of his home reality and the undefeated champion. This guy is cursed by the idea of perfection. He believes that he is the definition of it. And honestly, from his look to the hair and the face, the beautiful armor and the silver hairline, boy, he's beyond perfection. God damn. Anyways, Geno, after finding the 0 point, the only thing he saw was the opportunity to evolve the world and rule over all of it. But not just rule over everything cause of power. He felt like he's the only one who can truly protect the entire Omniverse from the threats like the last reality. But to reach that, he also believes that a perfect order is needed. So he started evolving himself and everything through genetic science. The thing which is awesome about this guy is, first of all, he just has an amazing design. When he used to be a king and more of a good guy, he used to have this like shiny white amazing cool looking armor. But I just love how the more he gained control over the 0 point, his design also changed, with it becoming more menacing and his armor also turning black instead, going from the light side into the darkness. But also the fact that so far in the story, he has been shown off to be the only person who's right. Him saying that he's the only one who can protect all of us. It all got proven right like 2 weeks after he left the reality 0. The storyline doesn't just say it, it also shows how this man is actually extremely smart. When he says that his way is the only one that works, there is an actual reasoning to it and it's not just said, which makes Geno an even more satisfying villain for me. Geno is so awesome to the point that it feels like without him we basically have no chance on defeating the last reality. He is the villain which really we need and will die without him. That's all because Geno doesn't really want to be a bad person. Everything he does is because he believes that these things are needed for the people out there to stay alive. But the problem here is how he thinks that only his view of the world is right, because no one else has proven him wrong on this yet. And so because of it, Geno is going way too far with his work, slowly breaking the natural order of the Omniverse and how it's meant to function, which is exactly why the Foundation could not work with him anymore and chose to live and fight against him instead. But that's not the only lovely part about this character. He is a father, one who wanted to make his children be just as perfect as he is, so evolving them from birth using genetic science. The twin sisters grew beyond powerful just like Geno and the Foundation, while also becoming immortal like them too. Geno was just so proud of making them be just like him, to the point which he agreed with the higher ups of the IO on testing them, to see if they're truly as strong and as powerful as he is. So because of it, they both got thrown into the island's loop, and Geno said exactly how long it would take them to escape the loop. Probably the time was set based on how long it would take himself to do it. So the sisters do escape the loop, getting the victory royale.
Number 1 victory royale, yeah, Fortnite.
But much later than the time Geno expected. This is a part of his story that I love the most. Geno, seeing this, kind of starts to see the mistake of his ways and his mindset. Geno starts to see how much of a terrible father he is, forcing his daughters to be like him rather than becoming whatever they want to be, building their own lives and being their own person. So he tries to fix this mistake, and he only sees one way on doing that, to completely cut any ties and connections with his daughters. He wipes their memories clean and puts them in a whole different reality. This father was so ashamed from his past choices to the point that he didn't see himself worthy of being a father. And so because of it, he says himself, he tried to free his daughters from himself. Then after through this, the game's story tries to send a message of, sometimes some mistakes are way too late to be fixed, and there is no way in changing that. You need to be careful with your choices before it's too late, because the sisters sisters are now found by the Seven. They join in their new members to hunt down their past. Then they do find out who they really are. The Imogen gets so pissed off knowing that her father is Geno, to the point that her entire life becomes nothing but swearing to take revenge on her own father for abandoning her, making Geno bring up a line which I really love, how he knew that he's not worthy of his daughters, and so he tried to free them from himself. But his daughters could not do the same thing for their own selves. Geno's plan to make things better, it only made things worse for them and made the sisters feel even more hurt. Geno is the most interesting character in this game, and the whole community is just counting days for this guy to get a full arc in the story again. The variety of the villains for sure make this story way more fun, but not just they make the Fortnite storyline extremely fun. The heroes and the other characters are also beyond lovely, and there's just so many of them, not just one. The biggest example being Midas, my personal favorite character of this game. He's the coolest, he's the best, he's the hottest, like oh my god. Midas is a mastermind who managed to pull off a Palpatine Clonesverse droid trick, using it to try and take down the Imagine Order by distracting them, then building this massive device in secret for ending the loop. And my favorite part about him is how Midas doesn't work alone. Everything he plans to do, those plans always revolve around a team, a family to do it with, going through many different realities, making legends go through obstacles, and if they come out successfully, they join in as a member of one of his teams, either Shadow or Ghost. Midas is not just awesome because himself, it's also because of the super lovely team he has built around himself, and his story is really focused around his family as well. The tragic past of how he accidentally killed his own daughter with his golden touch powers, and was willing to do anything it takes to bring her back to life again. But now his daughter pretty much hates him for what happened. So because of it, even though Midas is not a hero, he's legit a crime boss. Yet now he tries to do the right thing, doing his best to gain back the trust of his daughter. If you don't know Midas' storyline, you're missing out on peak, a masterpiece of writing. Definitely watch this video when you can. I fully explain his entire storyline, especially the sad and emotional parts in it. Then among the heroes of this story, there is one that stands out the most. You could pretty much call this one the main character of the story, that being Jon Jones. He easily has the most amount of character development in this story. The saddest moment in the story as well. He lost his family, his friends, the Imagine Order manipulated and used him for thousands of years. He was left alone in space, then got to be with his old friend again without hating each other. But it didn't really last long and he lost Dr. Stone again. After that, he only had one friend left in the world, and that one also got kidnapped by another faction. This poor guy has been hurt much more than like any other character in this game. We have watched him and heard him go insane. He extremely close to hating his life and everything. But also what makes him so special is he always manages to not give up, and after everything which he keeps losing, Jones still manages to always save the entire world through not being scared of anything. The Imagine Order threatened him so much not to call in the Foundation. Dude was like, nah, skill issue plus I'm better. And bam, Foundation is here. Jones has lost so much in his life to the point that threatening his life is not good enough to control him anymore. He simply has nothing left to lose. But if so, why does he keep fighting then? Why Jones out of everyone is the person who is the most heroic and has saved us from the end of the world many times? Well, it's pretty much because he feels really bad about every choice he has made in his life. Jon Jones fights, he tries to be a hero because he doesn't want to feel like he wasted his whole life being exactly the opposite of what he wanted to be. Jones feels like he doesn't deserve a good life anymore, unless he gets to fix the past mistakes he made. Jones wasn't born a hero, but the death of his family is what keeps him as one. When you look into the story of this game with a closer view, you really get to see how beautiful it truly is. But again, just like Midas, I have made a huge video on the full storyline of Jon Jones and what exactly makes him want to be a hero. These two videos, you need to watch them if you haven't already. Let's talk about one more character before we move on to the next point. The Foundation. This guy, some people outside the storyline community just take him as a joke, cause he's played by The Rock Johnson. Some people take this as a collab, thinking that the character is actually The Rock. Bruh! No! This is basically the same thing as Johnny Silverhand being played by Keanu Reeves. They're just actors playing a character. Stop it! Get some help. If The Rock did a terrible job in this role, ruining such an important character, yeah, sure, I would have agreed with you. This is like the best role The Rock has played in the recent times. He fits this character and what it's meant to be like perfectly. His bald head just goes greatly with this like mask and suit and everything. He looks perfect in that suit. And unlike a lot of other roles The Rock has played as, this character is flawed as a hero. He has extreme trust issues. The Foundation has high ego as well, causing him to fail twice in the story now. While his extreme focus on the mission and trust issues was about to completely destroy the entire 7 team. In my opinion, The Rock fits this character perfectly, because Foundation is meant to be a really serious leader who was hurt by the Imagine Order and Geno, causing him to begin not trusting anyone out there anymore, and somewhat developing an ego just like his old friend Geno has. While Foundation is again flawed, he fails and he has made many bad choices in the story so far. The best part about this character is how he's meant to evolve and change by John Jones, letting the weaker guy be the one who's the core of the character development within the greatest hero of all Omniverse, turning these two into the greatest duo ever. This has been the greatest part of the game's storyline, and I really hope that we get to see these two back together again. You bet that I will be making an entire storyline video on the Foundation just like I did with Midas and John Jones. If you want to see me do that, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Do it, please, come on man. But you may be asking now, all this shit you're talking about in this video, why haven't I seen most of these things happen in chapter 5 of Fortnite then? Going from a very mature storyline onto cringe as a storyline like this searching for dog balls. What happened? Causing the very soul of the storyline Dono Master to quit. Epic Games wanted to move resources out of the storyline and the live events, and to rather put all of those into making mediocre, boring games into like Lego and racing.
I am having a very bad day.
Dono Master, this absolute legend, doesn't just make games for money. He does it for the art and the craft of it too. So where he saw the magic of Fortnite being ignored, he sadly quit Epic Games because of it. The storyline is horrifying bad compared to the masterpiece we used to get. And we went from an extremely mature, relatable story, something you would see out of DreamWorks top tier movies, into Zeus is bad, we must stop him, we must kill him, and find the dog balls. What the f- It's just really sad to see how no one else from the higher ups of Epic Games understand the importance of a mature and banger storyline within Fortnite. The core of this game's story is the 7, the last reality, the Imagine Order. We need all of them back. This game is not Fortnite without them. I made this video because currently we're watching the greatest and most unique storyline in gaming slowly be ignored and ruined. The same way Disney got ruined, Pixar is getting worse, and Star Wars and so on. So to all the lovely people who are watching this video right now, please help me make sure that this amazing, just lovely storyline doesn't get ruined. There is no story out there you can ever find which progresses every single week and gets told through its world and live events. We should not let such a one moment in a lifetime be ruined for shit reasons nobody cares about, for example Metaverse. We as a community can save this game's storyline before it's too late. So please join me in supporting this game's story, in bringing up to Epic Games how we still want this storyline to be keep taken seriously, as tragic, emotional, beautiful and awesome. If the entire community and its content creators come together to talk about these things and how we want the storyline and the live events to stay as amazing as they used to be, bring these things up in Twitter or YouTube making videos about it, or sharing this very video you're watching right now with other people or even bigger content creators to see it as well. By us keep showing love to the game's story, we can make Epic Games rethink their choices and take the storyline much more seriously than they are right now. Make it as awesome as it used to be in chapter 2 or chapter 3. Fortnite has no other choice if they see how many people in the community are supporting the story, so we need to come together for this. You will never ever see such an innovative story ever again. No more story that brings millions of people together in the same day to enjoy the same thing all together. The best way we can start doing this and show love and care to the storyline is by supporting this video and make more people see it. I am willing to do everything I can to make sure that Epic Games doesn't fully ignore this masterpiece. But I can't really do this alone. I need your help and we need to do this all together. And I'm pretty sure that would mean a lot to Dono Mustard as well, to see his hard work and craft be respected so much. And if you're way too new to this game's storyline, you don't know much about it or the entire thing, well, good news for you. I have made this 3 hours dang long video. There is just so much Fortnite storyline in this. It's the best way to start joining us in enjoying this lovely, amazing storyline.